Hear that hum? That's the sound of tires spinning, pounding the pavement, and moving people and products on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Travel symbolizes progress, but it can create noise for our neighbors. All about noise on this episode of Turnpike TV. Community members often tell us that noise is a top concern. So we keep our commitment to being good neighbors by using science-based noise analyses, and when possible, using design to reduce sound in the area.
We recognize we have property owners adjacent to us. We recognize if we're going wider or if we're approaching or getting closer to their residence, it's really our duty to take a look and see if in fact it's appropriate to do mitigation.
When the Pennsylvania Turnpike was built in the 1940s, the Commonwealth had around 9 million residents. There was less traffic and lots of room for the Turnpike to grow. Today, almost 13 million people call Pennsylvania home, and the Turnpike has expanded to provide access to communities across the state. Likewise, neighborhoods are being built closer to our existing road network. All this growth brings an increased awareness of vehicle-related noise on and along the Turnpike. When it comes to traffic-related noise, it's all about decibel levels, which tell you how quiet or loud a sound is as heard by the human ear. The decibel scale used in traffic noise analysis is the A-weighted decibel scale, which is an adjustment applied to more closely align with how well humans perceive different frequencies of sound. At the bottom of the scale, imagine leaves rustling or a person whispering. At the top of the scale, consider a jet engine or a firecracker. In the middle, you would find sounds like a vacuum cleaner or a garbage disposal. And just like traffic, sound travels. Sound waves can bend around obstacles or spread out to pass through narrow openings. A narrow line of trees, for example, would provide little to no reduction in traffic noise. It would take a dense expanse of trees, at least 200 to 300 feet deep, to provide benefit. That's why a noise barrier, which is a solid structure, is one of the most effective ways to reduce sound. Noise walls are designed to reflect sound, reducing overall noise levels. So how do we determine if a project is eligible for noise mitigation? We follow Federal Highway Administration (FHWA) criteria that is also consistent with PennDOT and other states' Department of Transportation policies. These policies determine whether a noise reduction feature, like a wall, is warranted, feasible, and reasonable.
The criteria that we've been using for 30 years or more, along with PennDOT and a lot of states across the country. They're used for consistency. It's very scientific. It yields pretty much one result. There's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to the criteria whether noise walls are recommended or not recommended.
During the design of a major project, existing sound levels are monitored and traffic counts are collected. Those traffic counts are then entered into a standardized computer model that considers future traffic volumes, terrain, and design of the new roadway to predict future sound increases. The results of that model are then validated against the sound levels monitored in the field. If those future sound levels are projected to be above a defined decibel level, noise mitigation is warranted. To be feasible, a noise reduction feature must reduce sound by 5 decibels for at least half of the area being considered. 5 decibels are the minimum for a noticeable reduction in sound. Finally, is it reasonable? This includes a cost-benefit analysis and essentially focuses on the density of the area being evaluated.
It's important to remember that the context of homes that it's trying to protect. We might have some very large lots which can become challenging, or we might have some pretty dense, highly populated areas where it's a little bit easier because you're driving up those number of benefited receptors.
When noise walls are proposed for a project, neighbors adjacent to the proposed wall will be invited to a meeting to express if they want a noise wall, and if so, to vote on the wall's appearance. There are a handful of options to choose from, and neighbors can select one that fits the area's character.
We ask them for some thoughts on what their side should look like, because they're going to be looking at it. What the texture should look like, what the color should look like.
Here at the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission, we believe in working with communities to achieve the best outcomes, while also providing a safe and reliable transportation facility for millions of users. It's part of our commitment to being a good neighbor.